As to the charge of first-degree murder, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. As to the charge of aggravated child abuse, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. As to the charge of aggravated manslaughter of a child, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
It was a stunning verdict yesterday. It took jurors 11 hours to clear Casey Anthony in the death of her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee. She was found guilty on 4 misdemeanor charges of lying to investigators. She will be sentenced tomorrow.
And for more perspective on this case, we turn to local defense attorney David Aylor. David, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really do appreciate it. Now, you are a former prosecutor, now currently a defense attorney. You've seen both sides of this type of high-profile case. What do you make of this?
You know, honestly, I was even somewhat surprised. I would think at least to the degree of a couple of the other charges, maybe outside the first-degree murder, the child abuse and neglect type of charge would have at least been something that they would have held on to. But apparently, you know, the jurors just saw it one way, and they saw it as a way that there just wasn't evidence there.
Right, and found not guilty of manslaughter, found not guilty of child abuse, but found guilty on 4 misdemeanor charges, those all stemming from lying to the authorities. Do you think that she'll serve some time for that?
You know, I believe she can get up to a year for each charge, so if they did them consecutively where they ran them separate as opposed to together concurrently, she'd get up to 4 years, but she's already been in, you know, over 2.5 years, so she may just get time served.
Right. And in your expert opinion, what do you think exactly? I mean, if she's lying to investigators, and I think that's what a lot of people are looking at now, she lied to investigators at that time. What was she lying about? If she didn't do anything wrong, what was the situation?
Well, they tried to argue basically that the lies were related to more or less the way that she handled her daughter going missing and actually being, you know, placed out in the woods, as opposed to her lying about what happened to the daughter. It was related to where she worked, who the nanny was, that sort of thing. And I think one thing for the jurors is they were able to hold on to that. They knew she lied, she admitted she lied, so they had those charges. It was direct evidence, and it was basically proven by the defense even, and admitted that those were things that she had done, so they were able to easily find convictions for those. However, everything else, there was just so much circumstantial evidence, but nothing that could really direct it, you know, right to her.
You and I have talked about this before, but there is a reason, a very, very good reason why a lot of people will not put their clients on the stand. There's a reason for that. Casey Anthony did not take the stand. You were in a high-profile case where you didn't have your client take the stand. Why do you think in this case they did that?
Well, I think there's a number of reasons. One, they knew that they were going to go ahead and sort of give up on the lying to the police charges. They were admitting those. They didn't need to put that on the record. They didn't need to explain those further, like you're asking me, why would those have come out? What were those related to? If they asked that kind of question to Casey, what's her answer going to be? It might be something that's going to lead her down just a pretty negative road as far as them starting to look at her, the jurors, and think, you know what, maybe she did do this. Right. But with her sitting silent, you know, what you see and what I see is a lot different. You know, we get the behind the scenes look with everything that goes on. The jury is so limited in what they see. I think a lot of people just don't really grasp that whole theory that, you know, where you've been watching shows late at night that review it and that sort of thing. Right. You know so much more information than the actual juror on the, you know, stand.
Well, David, thank you so very much for your insight this morning. We really do appreciate it. And we'd like to continue the conversation. Just find us on our Facebook pages, abcnews4.com. Evan, back to you.